Arne Tellefsen. Going to start out this men 2-meter synchron. First couple out from Finland, Juho Juntila and Tino Tapio with 401B. Seven and a half, 8, 6 and a half, 5, sink. 8 and a half, 8 and a half, 7 and a half, 8, 7 and a half. Next couple out, Erik Gunnarsson and Elias Petersen from Sweden, 201B. Seven, 7 and a half, 7, 7, sink. 8, 8, 8, 7 and a half, 7 and a half. Third couple out, Philip Ullestever and Martin Nordisk from Norway, 201B. Eight, 7 and a half, 6 and a half, 7 and a half, sink, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 8, 8 and a half, 8. Then we go to the ladies. First couple out, Karoline Sofie Kupka and Lina Gallesen Lund from Norway. They're going to do 301B. Six and a half, 6 and a half, 7, sink, 7, 7, 7 and a half, 7, 6 and a half. Next couple out, Lauren Halasalke and Anni Palarmio from Finland, 101B. Six and a half, 7, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, sink, 8, 8, 8 and a half, 8, 8 and a half. Third couple, Michaela Dittman and Matilda Nilsson from Sweden, 201B. Seven, 7 and a half, 7, 7, sink, 8, 8, 7, 7, 7 and a half. Round 2. You and Tino, 301B. Seven and a half, 7.5. Sink, 8.5, 8. Erik and Elias, 301B. Seven and a half, 7. Sink, 8. 7.5, 7. Philip and Martin, 5231D. Eight, 7.5, 7.5. Sink, 7.5, 8, 7.5. 8.5. Carolina and Lena, 5231D. Six, 7, 6.5. Sink, 6, 7. Lauren and Annie, 401B. Seven, 6.5, 8. Sink, 7, 7.5, 8. Michaela and Matilda, 301B. Six and a half, 7.5, 7. Sink, 8, 7, 7.5, 7. Third round, Yuhu, Tino, 203B. 6.5, 6.5, 8, 6.5, sink, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 8, 8. Erik and Elias, 405 C. Six, 7.5, 6. Sink, 7, 7.5, 7, 7, 7.5. Philip and Martin, 107 C. Four and a half, 6.5, 5.5, sink, 6, 6.5, 6.5, 5.5, 6.5. Then over to the girls, Carolina and Lina, 105 B. Six and a half, 6, 6.5, 6.5. Sink, 7, 6.5, 7.5, 7, 7.5. Lauren and Anne, 205 C. Five and a half, 6, 5.5, sink, 7, 7, 7.5, 6.5, 7. Michaela and Matilda, 5, 2, 3, 3, D. Six and a half, 6, 6, 5.5, sink, 7.5, 7.5, 7, 7.5, 7.5. Fourth round, Juho and Tino, 405 C. Six and a half, 7, 6, 7, sink, 7, 7, 7.5, 7, 8. Erik and Elias, 205 B. 6.5, 6, 6.5, 6, sink. 8, 7.5, 7.5, 7, 7.5. Philip and Martin, 305C. Seven, 7.5, 7.5. Sink, 7.5, 8, 7.5, 8, 7. And then we are over to the ladies, Carolina and Lina, 405C. Five and a half, 3.5, 5, 3.5. Sink, 5.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 6. Lauren and Annie, 305C. Four and a half, 4.5. Sink, 5.5, 6, 6, 6, 5.5. Michaela and Matilda, 405C. Four and a half, 5.5, 4, 3. Sink, 6, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 6. Fifth round, Yuhu and Tino, 107B. Seven, 1.5, 1, sink. 5.5, 4.5, 5, 3.5, 4. Eric and Elias, 107C. Eight and a half, 7, 7, 7, sink, 7.5, 8, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5. Philip and Martin, 205C. Seven and a half, 7, 7, 7, swing, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, and 7.5. Last round for the girls, Carolina and Lena, 205C. Six, 4.5, 5, 5.5, swing, 6.5, 6, 6, 6.5, 6. Lauren and Annie, 5, 2, 3, 3D. Seven, 6.5, 7, 7, swing, 6.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5. Michaela and Matilda, 105B. Six, 6, 7, 6.5, swing, 7.5, 7.5, 7, 7, 7. And then the last round for the boys, Juhu and Tino. 5, 1, 5, 2, B. Six and a half, 7, 6.5, 5.5, swing, 5, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 5, 5. Eric and Elias, 5, 1, 5, 2, B. Six and a half, 6, 7, 7, swing, 7, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5. Philip and Martin, 405C. 7.5, 8, 7, 7. 8, 8, 7.5, 8, 7.5. Thank you, judges. Thank you, divers. All the divers prepare for the award ceremony. And please hurry up so we can go home.